have to do this every time, my baby? Oh, I got you. Oh, I got you. I found a kitty. She purring. Yes, a baby. You want to leave? You got my shirt. You want to leave, little girl? Or do you want to be a bad girl? You want to be bad? Anyway. Lola is so cute. I love her, but she's so bad. Okay. What's up? Actually, hold on. I think okay. It's a little bit better, maybe. I don't know. I think it's a little better. Okay. Oh my god. Here she is again. My little girl. You're being a bad girl. You're being so bad. I don't understand. Okay. There's cat hair on me now. Anyway. It's all over, like, I can't. Whatever. What is up? What is up? It's been a couple weeks, I think, since my last video and podcast, which I did say would be my last video. And technically it is. Like, it's the last video that I meant to be a video, like, on my channel, at least for a while. I don't know. I do want to thank everyone who watched the video and reached out to me about it, because quite a few people reached out to me, like, privately and talked to me about it, and basically, I don't want to say anything, but it was very much appreciated. What's weird about me, there's a lot of things that are weird about me, but so I cried during the video, and even I talked about it with my friend afterwards, and I was like watching it with her, like part of it with her, and I cried again, like, at myself, and I was like, man, I'm making myself cry, like, what the heck. But I cry a lot, so I'm a very easy crier. I will cry it so much. And obviously, like, I don't know, I think a lot of people see, like, me crying, and they think I'm not okay, because I'm crying. And sometimes that's true, right? Like, sometimes that's true. Sometimes it isn't. Like, I remember I went to the doctor, like a regular doctor, for a checkup or something. I don't know. There was something going on, maybe, or it was just a checkup. I don't remember. But I went to the doctor, and first of all, this was like less than a year from when my dad passed away. But I went to the doctor, and I was worried about becoming diabetic, which I still have not, thankfully, but I was worried about it, and I was like, I think that's what it was I wanted to get blood work done to make sure that I wasn't. I don't think there was anything really, like, any red flags or anything. It was just, I'm overweight, and my dad was diabetic, and so I just don't want to, I don't know, I just want to make sure. So I and I've done that a few times since. But so I went there and I was like crying because I was upset, like worried about being diabetic. And I probably was depressed at this point in my life, but my doctor was like, "Why are you crying?" I was like, "What do you mean? Why am I crying?" I was like, "I cry all the time." And he was like, "I have to prescribe you antidepressants." I was like, "Okay, like what the?" I did not say I felt like dying or anything of that nature. Like I don't think I did feel that way at the time. I was just worried. So, and I mean, that is, anxiety. People get prescribed antidepressants for anxiety too. I understand that, but that's not really, it was just so jarring. I was like, what? And especially since like, he really didn't ask me anything else. Like that was it. Like, why are you crying? And that, whatever. And I was like, what? Like, and so he prescribed me antidepressants. I never took them. But then I went to like therapy and all this stuff, whatever. I was prescribed antidepressants again, never took them. But I'm not against taking antidepressants. Other people, it's just, I don't think that I need to. Like, I do well with like talk therapy and like CBT therapy. What I think cognitive based training or something. Cognitive behavioral training, or I don't know, something like that. Anyway, I do well with that enough to live my daily life, and I don't have to really I don't think that I need medication. It's okay if you do, and it's okay if you take it. That's fine. Like, I have no problems with it. But so I just knew that I don't know if I knew, but I was like, I want to try this first, right? I want to try talking first. So, but he didn't even, you know what I mean? Like, he was just a regular doctor. It was just so weird. Like, not once did I say like anything alarming. I was just crying, and I was like, man, to be a woman, anyway, it must mean that you are like crazy when you cry. It's just, it was so gross to me. I mean, he was a guy, so, but anyway, yeah, I cry a lot. I cry very easily, like, just all the time. I just cried, like, just an hour ago, maybe, because, well, I'm not going to explain this because I feel like that's not a good idea, but, basically something happened in my house that hurt me, but, like, it hurt my ears a lot, and I didn't know how to fix the problem that was happening, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I just started crying because I was like overwhelmed. That happens. Like, it just happens. Like, I just cry, and it wasn't even that big of a deal, right? Like, it's nothing that not nothing, but I cry at like the smallest things, and I forget that people don't realize, like, don't do that, you know what I mean, like, usually, so they think that when I'm crying, I'm like at the lowest point in my life. And that's not really true. I'm sure I know some people that reach out to me, well, most people that reached out to me didn't think that, but I do want to say, if anyone did think that, like, I'm fine. Like, I'm actually, like, in a very good place mentally right now, but, like, I don't know, it's just weird, right? Like, when I decided to stop making videos, I was like, a lot of the reason, and I mentioned this in the last video, so if you want to, I'm not going to go into depth, but most of the reason was that if I were to ever garner an audience of a good amount of people, I would be so, like, I am so afraid of how that will go, of how things could happen, and that's definitely anxiety, of course, but how, like fan bases, as from what I can see now. And I've been in fandoms for over a decade. Things are rapidly getting so much more heated in fandoms, and I don't know, like, I'm not calling out any fandoms, first of all, I'm not gonna do that, but it's just like seeing things I don't know, I can't explain it. I know it has a lot to do with younger fans, and I'm not trying to say that, like, if you're a young fan, you're crazy, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not true. It's just that as I grow older, it's probably part of it. I notice that I'm growing less patient with, like, teenagers thinking that they know everything. And I'm not like literally that's all I'm gonna say about that. Like, I understand that as a teenager your brain is not fully developed and you don't realize that you don't know everything, because I was the same way. Literally, I know that I was like that. So I can't sit here and be like, wow, teenagers are so stupid that they don't know anything and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's just frustrating to see, like, things being misconstrued and like misattributed, and like teenagers riling themselves up over things that are like they're not right about. Like, they're not right about, and they don't know that they're not right, and there's nothing you can say to be like, you're wrong, because that's just not how their brains work at the moment. Like, and that sounds so patronizing. Like, I understand that sounds so patronizing, but until you get to be the age that I am or older, you will not understand that. Like, and I know that, like, when someone my age, I'm 30, said this, what I'm saying to me when I was, 15, 16, I would have been so annoyed and so frustrated and so angry at that 30-year-old and been like, well, why are you acting like you know everything, blah, blah. First of all, I don't know everything. It's true. I do not know everything. But I do know more than you. Like, I just do. And there's nothing that I can say to make you believe that that's true. And my cat is here again. Of course, there's going to be teenagers that I don't know more than, of course. But just, you get what I'm saying. Like, if you are over the age of, I would say 26, my cat, please. My little girl, what are you doing? You gotta get down. Okay, if you're over the age of 26, I would say you probably kind of understand where I'm coming from. Like, it just, as you get older, you're just like, okay, people my age were right when I was younger. And I'm just realizing that now. Like, and that's not to say that I can't grow and learn myself. Of course I can. And I can learn from teenagers. I can very easily learn new things from people that are younger than me. I'm not even ruling that out as a thing. I'm just saying that with oh my God. Lola, I'm going to smack you. Get out of here. You get out of here. You get out of here, little girl. Okay. I'm just saying that, hold on. I'm just saying that when, I don't know, like, I don't want a fan base of only teenagers, right? I don't want that. I know there's going, like, with any fan base, there's going to be a section of teenagers and stuff. I just feel as if, while they are very dedicated and passionate, and there's so many redeeming qualities, obviously, it can be more volatile of a community when that happens. And of course there's going to be older people that are also volatile. I mean, of course there's going to be. I mean, let's be real. I can't with her. Lola, I'm done with you. We're done. We're done. We're gonna get down now, okay? We're done. So, yeah. What was I gonna say? She's in front of my light now. She's so bad. She's standing in front of the blue light, so it's not showing on the wall. Anyway. So, oh, that's not there. So basically, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but she's gonna go under the couch. I don't know where I'm going with this. I do just want to say, like, I don't know, as someone who is interested, I still am interested in doing creative things. I said I want to write more, which I do. I haven't written anything since I stopped making videos. But I'm not putting pressure on myself to do anything like that, because as I've learned, putting pressure on myself to do those things makes me not want to pursue them, because I think when it comes to anything creative, get down. When it comes to anything creative, I have to think of it as a hobby in order to get anything done, you know? I mean, the most productive I've ever been when it comes to, like, anything creative was when I was a fan. When I was writing fan fiction, when I was making fan videos. I would make them constantly just because I wanted to, just because I liked them. Like, I liked doing it. And so it's less about me being like, this is what I want to do for my job, which I would love to. I still would love to do it as a job. But more about, I have a job. It makes me money. And while I would like to make more money, I would rather fill my time with something that I enjoy doing, that outside of work, that brings me some sort of fulfillment creatively, than I would like to pursue a second job. You know what I mean? Or even pursue a career in this, which is what I kind of thought of it as before. You know, like, I was thinking, like, okay, I just have to work really hard for a, undetermined amount of time, right? Like, that's the thing. If you start making videos on YouTube or what, like, doing anything like streaming and stuff like that, there's no guarantee that you will ever gain an audience, first of all, and no guarantee that you'll ever make money off of it. No matter how hard you work, even. if you work harder, it's probably more likely. Like if you put out videos like every day or, you know, multiple times a week, it's more likely because the algorithm pushes your videos and stuff and blah, 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 blah. But that's not really... There's still no guarantee, right? There's still a possibility that you're not going to get anywhere with it. And if I'm doing that and also hating it, then why am I doing it? You know what I mean? Then I have 2 jobs that I hate. Like, that sounds terrible. Well, I don't hate my regular job. I'm trying not to be so rude about my regular job, but I don't hate it. It's just that, once again, I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. It's not something I've ever wanted to do for the rest of my life, is work in an office job. Like, it's not. I'm glad that I'm working from home, but I do believe that that's going to be stopping soon. But basically what I'm trying to say is, if I post videos on here like this, and, you know, do my podcast and stuff like that, I'm doing it because I want to, instead of doing it because I feel like I have to, which I thought I was doing the whole time. But I wasn't at all. I was thinking I need to just keep doing this until I gain an audience, and which doesn't make sense, because like I wasn't doing anything consistent, like at all. Not once did I do anything consistent. My content was switching up all the time, which is normal when you're starting a YouTube channel. You don't know exactly what you want to do. But my content was switching up. I didn't have a consistent upload schedule, of course. There's no way I would have been able to do that. It was a lot of like inconsistency, and then I wasn't happy doing it anyways. So it was like, and I've talked about how I don't like editing. I don't. So that's why I'm doing these types of things where I'm just sitting down, talking, getting all my feelings out, and then I'll post what I say. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I said already that I want to cut out, but I'm not going to. And I don't know, like, if that can just be what I do, you know? I just do this. And no one's going to be interested in it. But that's okay, because I like doing this. Like, I like sitting down and talking to myself, pretending that people are listening. And that video, my last video, was the best performed video that I have in the past, like, I don't know. Well, it was number 2 out of 10 out of my last 10 videos. I think the number 1 was probably my Destiel video that I made. But it's like, what? That doesn't matter to me, but it was just so funny because it was like my last video, and of course it does better than any of my other videos have in a while. So not that was a contributing factor into me stopping. Like, I really don't care about how many views I get. It's just, it was just an interesting phenomena to me. I was like, why is this happening? I guess it is an interesting thing. Like, my final video, like, it's, you know, whatever. But here I am doing another one. I think, like, it still stands as like my final video, because it was like, I filmed it because I wanted it to be a video, but I knew that it was going to be a podcast. So I didn't think that I would be doing a video podcast again. I think I said something like, maybe. There's hair floating in the back. I think I said maybe I would upload like video formats of the podcast every once in a while, which, I mean, it's literally not any different, to be honest, especially since I'm not like editing it. So, like all I did the last time was put music behind it and then uploaded it, which, you know, worked. But I don't know. I like this like sit down, talk to a camera about whatever I want type video. But I know that I ramble a lot and I also don't make a lot of sense. So that's kind of why I like hesitate to do these types of things, or at least say like that's what my channel is gonna be now, is this, because it's like no one, like, again, like there's no audience for this. There's no audience for this. No one know, like, of course people who know me might watch it because maybe they want to know my feelings in life, I guess, but I'm not talking about anything that usually is relatable and also is interesting to anyone else but me, because it's my life. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. It's basically just whatever I want to do. Again, I do want to write, but I haven't done it yet. I figured I would like go back and read like some of my old like fan fiction and stuff and be like inspired by my own writing, because I have done that before where like I'll read something and I'll be like, man, I was actually good at this. And so then it makes me want to do it more. And I literally just read one of my fanfics right before filming this. It was actually my most recent one, because I thought maybe that would be the best one to read to inspire me, because I was like, it's so recent that I'm like, you could do this actually. You just did it like a few months ago, so just do it again. But I did realize something while I was reading it, and that I realized that I like writing about feelings and like, okay, so obviously I write fic about relationships, like two people getting together. And I like writing that confrontation where they finally admit their feelings for each other. But I don't like writing anything leading up to it. I don't like writing anything extra. I don't like writing anything after they get together. I'm just like, yeah, I love that moment where the feelings are revealed. Of course I love that moment. Everyone loves that moment. But that's why I only, like, almost exclusively write one-shots, which are basically just one chapter fics that are usually around, like, 1,000 to 5,000 words. Like, I just came up with that number. I don't know if it's accurate, but that's what I usually do. And that's what I basically exclusively write is one-shots, because I'm just like, okay, I don't need any of this stuff beforehand. I don't need any of the aftermath. I just need to write the moment that they get together. And I can, like, that's the thing that I picture in my head all the time. It's just how it happens. And, you know, whatever pairing it is, like, I'm just like, yes, I can picture this. It's always angst too, like angsty and stuff. You're like, they're like miscommunication. That's the thing, is like when it comes to like actual like TV shows and movies, miscommunication is so frustrating to see, like used as like a trope of like conflict. Lola. And it's so frustrating to watch, because you're just like, just freaking talk to each other. Like, what? Why is this happening? But in fic, it's like one of my favorite things. No, well, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite things, but I like it, the idea of like this confession being pulled out of someone, like you're so afraid to admit it, and then you finally do, and it's just like, yes. And then they kiss. They always kiss. But yeah, I don't know, like, I really like writing feelings, and just that whole jam is my jam. Lola, I swear to God, do not jump up here, I will punch you. She's like, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, no, you're not. Move my hand, and she's like, yes. So yeah, I like writing that type of stuff. I remember I wrote a book when I was in 8th grade. I say I wrote a book. So it was like 80 pages long, right? I have it on a floppy disk in my bedroom. I still have it. And I think about it every so often. I can't look at it because it's on a floppy disk, and no computer has a floppy disk drive anymore, so like I can't even access it. I'm sure there's a way, like somewhere, I'm sure someone has a floppy disk drive somewhere that you can, pay them to get it off of there or whatever. I do kind of want to get access to it somehow, because I know it was bad. Like, I remember reading it not that long ago, like the last computer that I had that had a floppy disk. So, probably like 10 years ago. But I remember rereading it and being like, oh my God, this is so bad. It was very like self-insert, first of all. Okay, listen. Anytime that you write something as a writer, there's going to be, that's your own intellectual property, not like fan fiction. Even in fan fiction, but less in fan fiction. There's going to be some aspect of yourself in, not just like the main character, like that doesn't have to be what it is, but there's going to be aspects of yourself in your life, in your writing, because you only know your experience. And you can write about other things, but like, you know what I mean? There's always going to be something, because that's you and you're writing it. But like, it was like so self-insert. It was like this guy that I had a crush on or something, and I basically was just like, yes, and we're in love. I think it changed his name in the thing or whatever, but I don't even remember. It was a mess. I was like, oh, gross. I hate this. I don't remember it. I remember scenes in it. Like, I remember picturing a house that I wrote about in the book. I can picture that house in my head, but I have no idea why I wrote about the house, what context it was in, anything like that. I just remember picturing a specific house, and like the inside of it, I can picture it. It's very like modern, but I don't know anything else. Like, I couldn't even tell you what the story was about, other than the fact that it was about a relationship, which of course. But it's weird because I wrote this before I had ever written fan fiction, I think. Maybe not any fan fiction. I think I probably wrote X-Files fan fiction before I wrote that. Because a friend of mine was very into the X-Files, and I went along with them, and I was very into the show too. Like, I really liked it, and I really liked Mulder and Scully together, like, of course. But they definitely got me into fan fiction, and so Jamie, thank you. But I don't know. What was I gonna say? But yeah, so I think that's probably like the first time I wrote like prose, like not, maybe not prose, but and it's the first time I wrote fiction in any way, like long form fiction, whatever. And then I wrote that book thing, and then I don't know though. Yeah, it must have been that time frame, because I went to one middle school, and I think that's when I met Jamie. And then after that, I went to a different middle school, and that's when I wrote the other thing. So I think that's the timeline. But anyway, I love my little Lola. And yeah, so basically after that, I wrote fanfiction all the time, and I also wrote like part of a while ago. I did NaNoWriMo. I didn't finish it. I think I had like 20,000 words or something like that. So I was like almost halfway done, and I had like an outline even of what I wanted to accomplish with it, but I didn't finish it. I don't think I ever will. But it was basically fan fiction. Like it was like I took fan fiction of a show and then I just changed the names. But the characters were very similar, and the situation was very similar, and it was just it was like an AU of, but not very much of an AU. Like it was so weird. Alternate universe. It was just so like I'm like, I wouldn't say it's bad writing, but it's because like I've read parts of it and I was like, okay, this is okay, but then I'm like, other parts I'm like, ugh, yikes. Because, and it's not even like I find the fan fiction aspect of it weird, because I still write fan fiction and read fan fiction and love it. But there's just something about it that I'm like, I really thought, that I was writing something original here, but I wasn't, because it's not original at all. It's literally based on the show. So it was like, anyway, but I don't know. The one thing that I keep going back to that I kind of want to write is, I have this screenplay idea, but I don't know if it's more of a TV show or a movie, and it's sci-fi, and the idea of writing sci-fi is like so exhausting to me. Like it's honestly one of like the most original ideas I've ever come up with. I don't think it's original. Like of course nothing's original. You will always be like drawing inspiration from something, and even if you don't even realize it, and there's always going to be something that's just like the thing that you're writing. I don't care if it's original. I'm just saying, like, it is very much like nothing. It's unlike anything I've ever written, and I don't want to write it because I'm like, that's a lot of work. Like, I don't want to world build. I don't. And that is, I would absolutely have to. And something about like sci-fi, like names, like proper nouns in sci-fi make me cringe. So like I came up with like names of like the planet that is like basically the original planet that someone is from. And I was like, I hate this. Like, I hate that I am doing this. It feels cringy. It feels gross. I don't know why. I don't think that about, well, I can't say I don't ever think that about fiction, like science fiction, when I watch it. Like, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. So like, if I don't know, sometimes it just seems authentic, and sometimes it feels like you really tried to be like, I don't know, quirky about this. I don't know, like I can't explain it, but that's how I feel about what I'm doing. So I'm like, like when I hear someone in like a science fiction show say speak in a language that doesn't actually exist, I have secondhand embarrassment. And I know that that's not everyone's perspective. Like, I know that. I know that, like, most people that watch sci-fi don't feel that way. But it makes me so uncomfortable. So I don't know how to get over that with my own thing. It doesn't make sense to me. So if I can't, then I just won't write it. But, it just seems like a waste because it's like one of the most original things that I have come up with. What's interesting to me is, okay, so I don't know if anyone has seen, oh my god, I can't think of the name of it. It's the, oh my god, what is the name of the movie? It came out this last year, or this past year. Something Woman. Oh my god. I just watched it with Bo Burnham. I know that's terrible to say. It's Bo Burnham's movie. It's not his movie. Oh my god, I hate myself. Promising Young Woman. I hate myself. Okay, so that movie. So in my last semester of school, we had to produce a TV pilot, and one of my ideas, but my main idea that I was going with was basically the premise of Promising Young Woman. And like a woman who had been wronged by men, which actually I feel like, well, I'm not going to get into the movie, but anyway, so it wasn't exactly the same, but it was very similar in the fact that she is going after men who were taking advantage of women in altered states of mind, like drunk and high and stuff like that. So and that was definitely where my idea was going in the direction of, but it had more to it because it was a TV show. It wasn't just a movie. It wasn't a one-off thing. So it was going to be a bit different. But I really liked that idea so much. I just it didn't end up being what was picked as the pilot for our whole class, because we all had to decide on one, which is fine. But I really liked that idea, but now I'm like, okay, well, Promising Young Woman already came out, so like I can't just go with that. Like, it's gonna be basically like I'm copying it, but even though I came up with it beforehand. But I think I just need to get over that shit. Like I just need to get over that idea that like, and I just said like I don't care about being original. I don't, but it is super annoying when people are like, oh, you just copied this. It's like, no, actually, but it's also just excuses. Like, just fucking write it and get over yourself. You can just write it, because even if like, here's the thing, and this is how I need to look at it. I watch commentary videos, and a lot of commentary videos are the same, about the same topic. But they're very different because other people are writing them and filming them and editing them. So it's not the same person, not the same person's perspective. And while they all kind of agree with each other, usually, I watch them all. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I only watch one of them and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I don't need to know anything else about this. Like, I want to watch all of their perspectives on it. So that's how I have to think about things. Easier said than done, obviously. Easier said than done with everything. Like, I have these like, I know these things in my head. Like, I know all of these things that I'm telling you right now. Like, I know the arguments against all of the excuses that I'm making to myself. But I don't like take them into consideration when I'm like sitting down to write, which I don't even do anyways. Like, I need to set aside time to write every day. Not to give myself like an expectation or anything. Like, I don't have to write about, or I don't have to write anything specific. I can write about my feelings like I'm talking about them right now. I can write whatever I want, but I think I should set aside time for it, because then it'll get me in a habit, at least. And I don't do anything. So I need to do that, but I'm trying not to, like, set expectations for myself, because I know that when I have expectations for myself and then I don't follow through with them, I guilt myself so bad. And that doesn't help. It's not helpful in any way. It's not helpful to guilt myself. It just makes me feel worse. So, and then it makes me not want to do it at all, which is just not what I want at all. I want to do things. It's just about actually getting them done. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It's very yellow in here. I should have changed that. Like, there's definitely a way. Like, I don't know, whatever. I don't know. I guess I'm coming down to the end of this podcast now. It's been 45 minutes, and I'm a little worried that my computer's just gonna stop working, and so I'm going to stop. But basically, I feel like I didn't say anything of worth in this podcast, but that's okay, because that's not what it's about. It's not about saying anything of worth. It's about talking and letting my feelings out and letting my thoughts out. So if you're interested in listening to that, what's wrong with you? Just kidding. Welcome to my brain. Welcome to my brain. It's exactly that. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think I'm done. I'm so glad that Lola stopped bothering me. Oh, one thing before I leave. My cat, Elmo. He's not here. I don't know where he is. He's probably in the bathroom. He's just laying there. He loves to do that. He just last night, so it was like 2 a.m. Well, it was like midnight. Oh, I have to go get the garbage can. Oh my god, my brain. I took out the garbage, and then I was like, I'll do the cat litter tomorrow, because I usually like to do the cat litter the day after the garbage comes, because then I can just, I don't know, I don't know. It doesn't make sense, actually, at all. But it was like, okay, I'll do the cat litter tomorrow. Apparently, Elmo was like, no, you have to do it now, because it was full. It was definitely, I needed to do it, and I feel bad for not doing it right away. He peed on the floor outside of the litter box, on the mat that's outside of the litter box, thankfully not just on the floor. And then I was like, oh my god, what? And so I did the cat litter. I was like, fine, I guess he wants me to do it. So I did the cat litter. I got everything out of there, threw it away, cleaned it, and did everything. I put it back in, fresh cat litter. Everything looked fine. I have a lid on the cat litter box. I have had that lid on there for years and years and years and years. I don't know what is different now, but apparently he does not like the lid anymore. And because I finished everything, it was all clean and everything, the lid was back on, and he goes over to the litter box, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna get in there, blah, blah. He stares at the litter box, squats on the mat, and pees again. First of all, you just peed. Why are you peeing again? I don't understand. It's only been like an hour. I don't get it. Like, what is going on? So I was like, fine, I don't know what's going on. Well, I looked it up, and I was like, something about it feeling cramped and if there's a lid. So I was like, okay, I'll take the lid off. So I did that, and then I was like, tomorrow morning I'll call the vet and make sure that, like, see if I can get him in to see if there's something wrong, because that could be true. Could be something wrong with him, and that he's trying to tell me that there's something wrong. Nothing else is going on with him though. Like, he doesn't seem, I mean, he lays down all the time and he sleeps all the time, but like, he's old. He's 11 years old, so like, he's been doing that. Like, it's not new. Nothing else is new other than him peeing on the thing outside of the cat litter box, and I'm like, I don't understand why he's doing this. And I only have one litter box, and I have 2 cats, so I really should have 2 litter boxes. So I did just buy another one, and it will be sent here soon. But, so I'm hoping that will also help. I mean, there could be something wrong with him. I don't know. Hopefully not. Like, I'm hoping that there's nothing wrong with him. But tomorrow I have an appointment for him to get tested for things, you know, whatever it could be. But they were like, if you see him straining to go to the bathroom, then call the emergency vet and have him, like, and take him in immediately. And I was like, okay. He doesn't seem to be straining. Like, I was watching him pee on that mat. It was a lot of pee, and he, like, did not seem to have a problem. He was just like, I'm gonna do it right here. And I was like, okay. And he did go into the litter box earlier today. So I have a feeling it was just the lid. Don't know why all of a sudden he is annoyed with the lid, but whatever. But I'm still gonna take him to the vet tomorrow just to make sure he's okay. Like, I'm not gonna chance anything like that. He's my baby. So I love him, and we're hoping everything's okay with him. That's kind of all I wanted to say about that, but hopefully he's okay. I have a feeling it's just the, like, litter box lid, and then I have another litter box coming, so hopefully, like, I'm hoping that Lola decides to take one and he takes the other one, but I have a feeling that Lola is going to be like, no, they're both mine. I used to have 2. I forgot, actually. I thought I had just one this whole time, but I did have another one. I got rid of it, though, because they were both using both of them for everything. So it's not like one of them was using it and then the other one was using the other one. Or one was for pee and one was for poop. Like, they were both doing both in both of them. But if it makes them feel better to have, like, 2 to choose from, then I will gladly do that. Like, I'll have another one. Plus, like, I just feel like Elmo doesn't like where that one is, even though it's been there this whole time. I don't know, I can understand why he would feel, like, cramped, even though, like, it's in a closet, and the closet is wide open, and, like, there's nothing even above it in the closet. Like, there's nothing else going on. But I can understand, I guess, like, why he would feel cramped. But anyway, we'll see. We shall see how he feels. I hope he's okay. He seems okay. Like, he was sleeping on the couch, like, pretty much all day today while I was working. I was like, I love you. He's so cute. And he sits on the couch, like, he puts his arm up on the arm of the couch, and he's like, chilling. It's like, you're a person. Like, I don't understand. You're not even a cat. I love him. Lola, on the other hand, I do love her. She's just bad. Oh, Elmo. This is my Elmo's in the, oh, he's coming. Yeah. This is my boy. Yeah. Hi, baby. Come here. Yeah. I know. You love me. Come here, baby. No, go away. Come here, baby boy. My baby boy. Okay, bye. There he is. Wait, I'll do this, right? Look at him. He's perfect. He's perfect in every way. I love him. Hi. I love you so much. No, he's behind me. Whatever. Okay. Alright, that's about it. I love him. And, thank you for listening. If you have been. It's been fun. I do think I'm gonna start, like, thinking of, like, topics, though, because, like, even though, like, not, like, I don't know, because this was kind of meandering, as I always am. Like, last one was actually pretty good, because I knew what I wanted to talk about. This one, I didn't really know what I want to talk about. But we covered some things, I guess. Anyway, that's about it. I'll see you later. I hope. I don't know. We'll see. Bye.